Welcome to Reclaimed, the podcast, a sanctuary for women ready to stop surviving and really start thriving. I am Kyla Gagnon, breathwork facilitator, empowerment leader, and guide to bring you home to your feminine power. It is time you reclaim what is yours. In this space, we soften, we feel, we heal, we rise together. Sit back, relax. This is Reclaimed. Hello, sweet friends. Welcome back to the conversation. I have a sweet sister with me today. Some of you know her. I have Samenda. Samenda is an intimacy coach. Samenda is an intimacy coach for singles who specializes in helping singles break the patterns of losing themselves to relationships and creating a love and sex life that is 100% on their terms. She helps men and women from different parts of the world release and rewrite limiting beliefs from past relationships, upbringing, and conditioning to then educate them on their love and sex life blueprint so that they can date the right lovers with ease. She is running 5 days of breathwork, which she talks a little bit about in this convo. I'm going to link that in the show notes. Liberated Lover, all of the details, everything that Samenda has to offer will be linked below. Please enjoy. Hi, Samenda, my love. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Before we jump in, I would love to ask you, what are you currently reclaiming?
Well, kind of what we're going to talk about today is reclaiming, I guess, my essence as someone who serves this world in my business and, leading with that intention rather than whatever business mind comes in sometimes.
Yeah, you and I have been talking a lot about this. Conversation has been coming up a lot, and I know that you didn't just speak it out loud, but I know what we're talking about because we've talked about it. But this idea of like following the masses of it's supposed to be done this way and do it this way, and this is how you're going to get to this part in your business, and this is it. All of these like directions and do it this way, and we can really get swept up in it and lost in it a little bit, and so. There's a few of us on this journey of coming home. I'll call it like coming home. Yeah. Tell the people a little bit, for those who don't know you, tell the people a little bit about what you do. Who are you? Where'd you come from?
Who am I? Where did you come from?
What happened?
So I'm Samenda. I currently live in Victoria, BC, because I moved here, but I'm from the Netherlands. And I'm an intimacy coach for singles. So I specialize in helping singles to break the cycle of losing themselves to relationships, and to understand what it is that they truly want, and to create a love and sex life that's on their terms. That was a whole journey because I started as just a somatic and breathwork practitioner, and along the way specialized in this and love it with all my heart. It's really great to see the process in people, and obviously I've been through that process myself. So I'm really grateful that I get to do this for a living and just live this life.
Yeah. What was the process of you arriving there? Because you're quite young, and I think this is literally what you've been placed on this earth to do. I'm sure it'll evolve and you'll do, I'm sure, a million other things in your life, but this just feels so correct. And such a gift that you've accessed it so quickly in life. But what was that process like for you? How did you get here?
Yeah, well, it's funny because, when I talk about that process and that journey, it's like it makes a lot of sense. But when I was in it, it didn't always make a lot of sense. I think I found breathwork, but I feel like breathwork finds us.
Yeah.
I found breathwork through your partner, which is a beautiful full circle moment. I used to suffer from complex PTSD from childhood, and I was really struggling with it. I had really severe panic attacks and, dark episodes and just really struggling with knowing who I was and connecting to myself. I wasn't really brought up with a lot of physical affection, for example. So a lot of what I call connection to myself and intimacy just to yourself and to other people nowadays, I just had no clue what that was or how that worked. And so I was in therapy, the conventional systems, I guess, which helped me to some extent, but it didn't truly get me into my body and into trusting myself. other than just mentally understanding what I was going through from time to time. And at that time, Cam reached out to me just randomly on the interwebs. And we started this fitness journey, nutrition journey, and then infused breathwork and spirituality. And through breathwork, I truly found my way back home to who I am and my body specifically. And so I was still studying, but I was like, no, I need to bring this to the world. Like, no corporate job for me. So started doing my somatic trainings, my breathwork training, and people came in for physical illness, processing, and like healing from a car accident. Like, there's so many different things that breathwork can help with. But the ones that really lit me up, where I could feel like I could truly help them and like be on the same wavelength, was when it was about self-love and sexuality and relationships. And at the time I didn't really feel fully competent to like fully specialize in that. So started doing Tantra and then taking some workshops and trainings and really understanding more about that. Started working professionally with Tantra. And I remember the right moment I was in the shower, was actually in one of the Tantra workshops. I was just there having my shower, just enjoying the energy that was in the room next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can't go home, do the breathwork and somatics with people, and not bring in what I've learned this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Because this feels like the thing that just fits right in there. So from that moment on, I decided that I would just specialize in intimacy. And at first I was like, I can help couples, I can help people that are single. I've worked with some people in relationships and it's great. And there's many relationships that have enough space to do the inner work. Particularly like open relationships would kind of land.
Yeah.
But, the space and like focus that people have when they're single and before their next relationship, that transformation is what lights me up so much right now. So that's when I decided to focus on that period of time and like that life phase. And it's been amazing. I've been doing that now for a year or something, 2 years. So
Feels
that's
like
the journey.
Forever. It's a good journey. It's a great journey. Yeah. And I'm so happy you're here. And I've been blessed to receive breathwork from you and serve breathwork to you. We've had this really fun exchange, and I'll just share a little bit about the ceremony that you held, and it was so sweet and intimate a couple weeks ago. And I had been like really moving through some stuff in my personal life and with family and some really good close men in my life, and feeling like I really needed to just like hold it really, really together. Well aware of it, like really aware of it, but also not really giving myself space to feel it and release it, and for, whatever reason. And to be held in that space was exactly what I needed. And it's funny, like that, how you said a moment ago, like breathwork really can help with so many things. I went into that session kind of with the intention of like, I need to release some emotions. Like I want to, I think I even said, I hope I cry a lot. I hope I just cry so much. And I did. And it was so awesome and like really heavy and layered and all of those bits. And then on the next day you messaged me and you said, how are you feeling? And although I felt incredible after that release, this whole other aspect of my life, and we don't need to go into it, it was this complete other part of my life that had been holding me like victim and anchored to suffering and struggle and stress. I had this like epiphany of how I could get myself out of it. And this had been something that really had been lingering for like 20 years, like a long anchor just holding me victim. And so I just like did the thing. And I was like, holy shit, I'm just like, I'm so released. And that wasn't the intention. I wasn't going in with like, okay, this thing that's been in my life for so long that holds me down, I need to really deal with that. Right. That wasn't it at all. But you allowed me to open enough and release a bunch of what I'd been holding, that it then sort of like created the space for that other thing to like, like surface up to the top to also then be seen. And then my, wise sovereign adult self was like, oh, I can do something about that. Let's do something about that. And no joke, from that day forward until now, I don't know how long that's been, 3 weeks, maybe, who knows? Life has been completely different. Business has expanded, clients have come in, people have come in out of the woodworks, opportunities have come in. It's like, yeah, breathwork can help with so much, and stuff that you don't even intend to to activate or to even acknowledge, stuff that you don't even know is there, which, that's a whole other rabbit hole. It's my journey into breathwork is like, it accessed parts of me that I didn't even know I was unaware of. Yeah.
And I think that's almost also the spiritual side of things, where it's like we give up control and we're like, okay, just show me the way. And sometimes that's so different from what our human mind likes to think that's going to happen. And then we're just taken, so I think that's so beautiful.
It was really beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know that you and I had a session fairly recently, and I'll let you tell the story, but I know that it was impactful for you. And so I'm wondering if you can shed a little light on that session, but also like, where were you before? Why did you come to that session? What was it like after? I'm going to sip my cacao.
Oh, yes. So kind of similar to what you're saying of like, why do we resist it sometimes? You still, like, you and I have both been in breathwork for years, and it's like we're serving it to other people all the time. And then it's like, my own practice, I resist. Like, why is that? And I had done an in-person breathwork journey with you at our retreat in Costa Rica, which is 2 years ago. And then I had one with a good friend of mine when I was back in the Netherlands for Christmas. I feel like I was there when I came back last year, but it might have been before I even came to Canada last year. So my last in-person session was a year ago, which is wild because, again, we serve it all the time. And I did some online sessions, but sometimes you just need the hands-on experience with someone you trust. And so I felt like I was resisting it all the time. And then it just comes at the right time. I felt that this session was the right thing. The ceremony came at the right time. And I was like, it's time for me to go inwards again. And I was aware of it, and I didn't know how to get out of it. I was so trapped in that, like, when is the strategy going to work in my business? Like, outside something, like another coach, another strategy, another thing, another that. And I just had such a hard time. Like, every time a new client would come in or someone would tell me your work has changed my life, I had such a hard time receiving that. I was like, okay, great. And then, and what's next? What do I need to do next? How, like, am I giving enough? Like, just in such a stress survival mode, really. And I think that's, that has to do with me moving countries and just, surviving in a new country with my own business. Like, it's a lot. So I have compassion for myself. And I know that, it took me longer than maybe, in hindsight was good for me to go inwards again. And then I did in the breath work. And I have my journal right here. It's like, the intention that I wrote down was, today I'm surrendering to the change needed in my business. I'm open. Show me how to align my purpose with my spiritual path. So that was kind of the way I went into it. And I remember you saying at the beginning of the ceremony of like, I hope that you can get that love affair like reignited with breath work. Cause like, it truly, I am in love with breath work and what it does. And for some reason, for me personally, I just kind of like faded away a little bit, even though I was serving it to clients all the time. So bringing that back felt really big, but also once I was in it and once I dropped in, it was actually really beautiful. I started breathing, and I was kind of afraid that it would feel hard, that the deep breathing would feel hard, which is funny with like the whole period of time. Like everything was feeling hard, and then the breath work actually felt really easy. And I could just feel the breath in my belly and in my chest and just feeling so big and expansive. And then there was this song that came on that Cam used a lot of times when we started doing breath work. So that got me in like deep sadness. I was like, oh my gosh, I miss this so much. And I remember now why this is so beautiful.
I have chills while my hair is standing up.
Oh, it's just, I was like, this is so perfect. And then I don't know the exact order anymore, but I felt like sad in that sense, but also like coming home and like, oh my God, I miss this. And then just this realization of I'm in a forest in a dome. I could just feel the nature all around me. And I'm like, I'm in a different country and I'm doing it. And I just thought of all my clients and I was like, it's so beautiful, the people that I have, that I get to serve. And I started dancing and also feeling so like orgasmic and just life is awesome. And I remembered like, oh yeah, I'm the woman who dances in breathwork. I forgot, and started moving my body, and it was just amazing, and such a remembrance of like, this is what breathwork is for me. Yeah, and then some downloads came through, but I kind of want to, maybe we can just stop it here for now. That was really the somatic piece of it, where I was like, this is how how it felt in my body, and I was like, how did I go so long without? Yeah.
I really get that piece around like everything's been hard and this is going to feel hard, and to have it feel easy that really spoke to me. Like, and I've said this more so. I say this in medicine work when I serve plant medicine, but how do I word this in a way that's clear and not from a psychedelic place? What is correct for us and what is true for us and what is like of our highest alignment will always feel easeful. It will always feel gentle. It will always feel expansive. It will always feel loving. And anything that doesn't, so that's self-doubt, that's self-criticism, that's shame, that's embarrassment, that's fear, that's like a laundry list of other things, that is not correct for you. It's false. It's made up. It's someone else's. It's not correct for you. What is correct for you will always leave you feeling like you've just had a big exhale. Of course it's easy. Of course it feels easy. It's for you, and oh, what's that? Oh, wake up. Good morning. Good morning.
No, but I love that. It's like we think, and this is very true for me coming from the Dutch culture. We have this like in our culture, in our people, we have this idea that we have to suffer in order to deserve something. And I know that's true for many of us, but like, we have very cold weather and like just kind of the I don't know how to explain it, but just it's ingrained in us. And that also like goes back to like kind of her history, and like there's different reasons for it, but yeah. And I still catch myself thinking that. I'm like, well, if it's easy, like, do I deserve it? Like, is this right? And it's like, yeah, it gets to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of like having what feels to be easy or something that comes easier naturally to us, than to have that be our mode of income, like our job, our career, there can also be this hang up around, well, I can't charge money for that. It's just so easy. Like it comes naturally. Like think about someone who makes the most delicious cinnamon buns. Like they're just out of this world. And it literally is like they could do it in their sleep. We would pay large amounts of money for these delicious cinnamon buns, and they would probably just want to give it away because like, oh, it's no problem. This is so easy. It's not a problem. I love doing this. It's nope, it's my pleasure. And and that's something that is actually quite ass backwards. Like you should get really abundantly paid, be that money or food or, let me clean your house, whatever the exchange is. Yeah, you should be paid in abundance for what comes naturally and easy to you because you do it so well. And I'm saying this to everyone, and I don't care if you're a janitor or a somatic sex therapist or a breathwork practitioner. It doesn't matter what you are. If it comes naturally and easily to you, you get to be paid really well for that in whatever exchange you choose. It doesn't even have to be money. But yes, it is such a gift that you can do what you do, and people will, they'll want to pay you for it.
Well, I think that's so easy to forget, right? Because it's like, because it's come so natural to you in that talent, or that thing that you just your craft, or this thing that you learn to be good at. It's like, well, it's your normal, so you don't always look back and be like, okay, yeah, this is like, people will want me to help them get here as well, or be in my presence, or be in this exchange. And I find having the right people around me to remind me of that really is so crucial, because it's really easy to compare yourself to, my parents are both in like corporate jobs, and I'm like, well, they just, suffer from 9 to 5. I call it suffering because I feel like 9 to 5 was always suffering for me. But they feel, I guess, in alignment with just like, I'll just sit here for 8-9 hours and, do the thing nonstop, and the freedom that they get after 5 or over the weekend is worth it for them, so it's easy to kind of fall back into that standard of thinking. It's just so different when you do want to lean into what's easy.
This season's podcast is sponsored by Breathe with Kyla. If you have been feeling stuck in your head, overwhelmed by emotions, or just craving a deeper connection to yourself, I have to tell you about Breathe with Kyla. This is my breathwork mentorship space designed to support women just like you, just like me. Inside, we gather weekly to breathe, release, reconnect, educate, learn, be together as community to clear stress from your body, soften out the constant hustle mode. Inside, we gather weekly to breathe, release, reconnect, drop in, learn, educate, open up conversations that people in our life aren't having. It's a safe place for us to come and have these conversations that no one else is having. We can clear stress from the body, soften out of that constant hustle mode, and create space for calm, clarity, and confidence, truly. This is not just a membership. It's truly a mentorship. It's a homecoming, a space where you get to feel deeply supported, held, and reminded of your own power every single week. If you are ready to breathe life into the version of you who you know is inside, come and join us. Head to the link in the show notes. Use code podcast for a special little sweet treat for me. I love you so much. We'll see you inside. And even in that, like coming back to the difference between working 9 to 5 or more corporate and following this like inner heart explosion of like, no, I need to be doing this. Yes, there's a sense of like, this comes easy to me and I love doing this so much. And forging your own path is not easy. Like like choosing to be your own quote unquote 9 to 5 stability, security. That's hard. It's hard. Let's not pretend that it's not hard. And it's, it's chosen, and we get to choose our hard, because, 9 to 5 is hard too. You have to deal with bosses. You have to deal with coworkers. You have to deal with traffic. You have to deal with all the things. You have to deal with politics and bureaucracy and all the shit. So yeah,
I know so many people were like, I would never trade my 9 to 5 for your business. Like, if I hear how hard it is for you, sometimes I'm like, same for me. I would never, like, yes, this is damn hard, but I would never, ever, ever trade it for what you're going through. No, thank you.
Yeah, it's and thank God for all of the people who do all of the different things. Like we need them. We need all of these pieces. We all need. It's like, I need the woman who works at the drugstore to sell me the thing. I need the man who is picking up the garbage. I need all of
Yeah.
those. I need them all, and they need me because
Yeah.
their nervous systems are shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need me. And
Exactly.
so it's this beautiful exchange.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, this all ties into what essentially that breathwork journey gave me, because apart from like the somatic things that I got out of it, there was also this big spiritual aspect of like almost an ego death,
Mm.
where I've been running my group program for a year and a half now. It's called The Liberated Lover, and it's my life's work, and I love it. And the way it started out is it was just like one cohort of people ran the course live. And I was like, okay, I'm going to keep doing cohorts. But then the feedback that I got was like, well, it's a very, like, I need more time. Like, one module may take more than 1 week because it's like such deep work. So then the second launch that I did was like, okay, come in for 6 months, do the modules at your own time. And then we just keep doing calls. And like that landed really well. And that was kind of the most successful launch that I've had. And, people started doing it at their own time, and some people still haven't done all the modules, and they've like extended multiple times. And then the third time that I brought it back into the world as like a launch, I was like, I think there was just it started to kind of die, like that way of doing things. So then when I started to work with another coach, which I wasn't planning on doing, but like thinking that I needed another strategy. And don't get me wrong, like it all taught me something, and I feel like it's all divinely aligned, but like, yeah, you should make it like, it's so valuable now. You should make it more expensive and like more intense and like more hand holding and all these things, more one-to-one. And it just kind of fell flat, really.
Yeah.
And that's been since the beginning of the year, where I've just been in front of people where I'm like, this program could change your life, but like the format's not working. And so I was quite lost, because this is the hard thing about entrepreneurship. You feel like it's not aligned. And then it's like, well, I need to kind of like pay my groceries. So like,
Yeah.
let's think about how to solve this. And then in the breath work, there was just this thing that kept coming back to me, where it's like, I started this to be the educator that people usually don't have, like all the taboo topics, because I teach about, non-monogamy, BDSM, Tantra, and like I talk about the things that are usually not talked about. I answer the questions that you want to ask, and I'm here to educate.
Yeah.
And I'm here to be available.
Yeah.
If you need me. And I'm here to, like, if I look back at what works so well in my program, it's the community. People stick around because of the community. And so that just really came through. And I was like, I'm here to build community and to educate. And like, maybe that's what I need to follow in my business. And I was like, I need breathwork to be way more of a cornerstone than it is now. Like it is in the sense of like, we're going through breathwork, but it actually plays such a bigger role for me. And like, I haven't been putting it on the forefront as much. And that really felt like just, whatever you want to believe in, like God, soul family, angels, just telling me like, hey, wake up. It's time for a change. And I say ego death because my coaches want me to keep doing the thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? Strategy wise.
Yeah.
No, just, like it's going to work at some point. And like, you're just going to make, 3.5K every time. And like, yeah, let's go. And it's, that's tempting. And also, that's not what I'm in business for. Like, yes, I truly believe that I deserve to make money, and like, I will never undercharge, but I'm like, no, it needs to be in a different way. And I'm figuring that out as we go, and thinking about what that could look like. But that's, I think, when the surrender comes in, because like it doesn't always make sense.
Yeah.
But it's a feeling.
Yeah. And you really have to trust those feelings. And that's something that I can't speak. Yeah. It's been ingrained out of us for a really long time to trust those feelings and, listen to the authority and listen to the people who know more than you. And you're right. You could totally follow your coach's strategy and probably make really, really good money and feel really disconnected and not good, which then, then is the work you're offering great. No, probably not. Or you can follow your heart and your medicine. And even if it takes longer, I believe that you would be more abundant to be in full alignment with what feels good and true for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
glad.
Well, I think this is where trauma-informed approach comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago as well, like before the breath work. I was really in it, like with the kind of the financial traumas that I hold, that we all hold as entrepreneurs. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why can't I just,
Mm-hmm.
implement the strategy and ask for the money and da 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 da. And it's like,
Yeah.
and I remember you asking me like, well, like what part of you comes up? And I remember it being like my 19-year-old self who was like just really struggling
Mm-hmm.
with money and just surviving and keeping herself afloat. And it's like, well, that's the feeling that's coming up and that's still there. And like, I feel like I've never come across a business coach that truly understood that or really went there. Cause like,
Mm-hmm.
usually that's not what you're in business for. It's
Yeah.
about, making the money and the strategy. And it's like, or there's some form of embodiment and trauma informed approach, but then the strategy lacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a hard balance, I guess, to find.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that's where breathwork can be so powerful
Mm-hmm.
to, implement that next to the strategies that you're doing and the business knowledge that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Ah, so many layers to this life.
I know.
So many layers. Yeah. Um, you're we just talked a little bit about your business, but I'm curious, knowing that this is launching on March 31st.
Mhm.
What is available for people right now if people are curious about working with you? As I hope they are. Everyone should be.
um, Something that has been a constant in my business that is definitely also my baby is 5 days of breathwork, which is a breathwork retreat that I'm running for the 4th time actually next week.
Yay. Perfect timing.
And I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's using breathwork to heal from past relationships and open up to love again. So in 5 days, we're going to go through releasing an ex, finding unconditional self-love, releasing shame, healing codependency, and embracing sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a breathwork journey for that every day. And, we're doing like giveaways, and there's like a community component where we all share with each other the processes that we go through. And yeah, it's really special. And the processes that people go through in that week are very deep, whether people resonate with 3 of the themes or all of them. And, it tends to just open us up to an energetic level, like what you said with when you did the breath work, like everything's been feeling so effortless. Like that happens with people all the time where they're like, suddenly, I'm being asked out on dates, and like I feel so magnetic, and I actually feel like I have an open heart to meet someone new. And or they're like, I'm actually really happy with where I am now, and like my ex-partner doesn't have such a grip on me anymore. Like it's really transformative, and I'm really looking forward to running it next week. Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's online. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And so if anybody is interested in learning more, I also did a webinar, so I can send you the recording if you're interested in kind of understanding how it works. And yeah, go from there.
Amazing. So make sure I have the link for all the things, and I'll pop it in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're starting that on what date? 7th? 6th?
April 7th. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, I'm so glad this worked out. So great. Any final words of love or inspiration or wisdom or anything?
Well, just like if you're listening and you are someone that makes a living off of your, I guess, your calling, your purpose, like let breathwork be your ally. Let it be your other business coach.
Yeah. Yes.
And, surround yourself with people that understand that layer to it, because you'll get lost in the woods of strategy otherwise, and will never feel like you truly are getting caught up with just everything in your business. Like right now, I have the same amount of to-dos and things standing out for me, but I feel so much more at ease.
Mm.
So it's the inside that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So just do a breathwork journey, and like, I guess your mastermind is open for that, right? Where
Yeah.
you combine the two and
Yeah.
just take that leap. You won't regret it.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say breathwork's changed my life completely. I know it has for you too. Get us tag team and we're like, it's going to change your life. But truly, it's like, not to sound dramatic, but also a little bit dramatic.
Well, it's like, I don't want to sound dramatic, but this is true. And
Mm-hmm.
I've never met someone for who it hasn't. So like, just the track record keeps track recording,
It keeps tracking. And I think about it. Someone came to a breath session last week. I was holding one of my monthly sessions here, and he's like, so how many of these have you ran? And I was like, oh God.
Thousands.
Like, I think definitely high hundreds. Like, or okay. Hundreds, definitely. Thousands of people, though.
Right. Yes.
Thousands of people, and both in person and online, and holy macaroni. And I think I can honestly say I have recollection of one person who hated it.
Mm.
And without going into story, there was a very, very important reason as to why. It awakened some things in this particular person, and they hated it. One, now, granted, not everyone tells me maybe the truth, but I appreciate when they do. And, but yeah, the percentage, the stats are pretty high.
Oh yeah.
Stats are high, baby.
Well, because it's just you. Like, that's literally what you're doing. It's like you're breathing in a way that makes you drop into your body and your subconscious. And like, of course that's gonna work because it's you, but just on steroids and like without all the filters from your human analytical mind that gets you caught up in everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course it's gonna work.
Yeah, it's for you. All right, my love. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to make sure all of your links are below. Oh, I know this, but just, is Instagram the best place for people to find you? Would you rather website? Where are you most?
Instagram is the best place. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Send me a DM. I'm happy to refer any resources and talk about the breathwork, talk about the liberated lover, all the things.
Yeah. Those of you listening, I do invite any of your breath questions to come to either Samenda or myself. Specifically intimacy and sexuality, send it to the blonde. It's her forte. And she's afraid of nothing. So ask her anything. Tell her all the things. Yeah, all the things. It's so fun having a friend like this in my corner. Yeah. Okay, babe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.